Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's 10 at 10. I will be answering a whole bunch of questions today. So be a little patient with me. And if you have follow up questions, just type into the comments and I should be able to answer them live on the show. Okay, so now is your opportunity to ask all the questions you want to ask. Okay, first off, we have a question from a bread plant in Mexico. All right. And hi, Dr. Lin. I'm a big fan of yours. I was wondering if you can answer this question. Among other things, we produce sliced bread using the direct method, which is also known as straight dough method. And we are struggling with the slightly open crumb we have in our product. We have a good dough temperature and we use ascorbic acid. We have tried a lot of other resources and we haven't gotten a final crumb yet. Is there any advice you can give me? Many thanks in advance. Man, this baker has so much manners. Thank you for being so polite. So direct method, straight dough method, or no time dough usually gives you the best fine crumb you can get out there. So there are three things I see, and usually an open crumb means a weakened dough. Okay, what causes weakened dough? Before you put in any other dough conditioning improvers, I want you to do these first. Okay, three things that causes a weak dough: dilution of the gluten network, machining, and high temperature. Now, you told me that your temperature is being taken care of, so I trust you on that. If you can actually target 75 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit in final dough temp, perfect. Okay, so keep it there. We have machining. All right, so machining is a very tricky issue. It depends on your extrusion, your PSI at the dough divider, and that will affect your throughput and the structure of your grain. Okay, so that part is really, really important. How much pressure you put into the dough. The weaker your dough is, the lesser it's able to handle the pressure going through the dough divider. Okay, so how do you circumvent that? Okay, you circumvent that with a direct method only through dough conditioners. Okay, you can't go any other ways around this. That's because since you don't have a long fermentation time, you don't have a very pliable dough. So you have a straight dough method that produces quite a bucky dough, and if you don't put any other dough conditioners in there, it's going to be pretty much destroyed in the dough divider portion. Okay, I don't care if you convey your dough, you pump your dough, whatever it is, it just gets destroyed in the extruder, okay, and the divider. So you need to add an oxidizing agent in there. Okay, you said you added ascorbic acid. That probably may not be enough. You might even need to go up, or you might need to use a different oxidizing agent. Okay, go to our topic on oxidizing agents and study a little bit more. Go to our topic on dough conditioning ingredients and understand what else you can put in there. Basically, what you need in there, and talk to your ingredient support specialist. You need something that brings the gluten together again after the dough rounding action, okay? Because the gluten strands get devastated during the extrusion process, and then it should come back together again with the oxidizing agent, okay? Another thing to look at it too is we have had a lot of success with using L-cysteine or a reducing agent. The reason is it's a similar principle to the relaxation portion. It relaxes dough so much that it's able to handle the extrusion process. It's more flowable. It doesn't break down. That's why L-cysteine works. That's why inactivated yeast works. Okay, but too much of that kind of dough ingredient dough conditioning ingredient is going to cause you an open grain. So the best thing for you to do for a straight dough method is really to use dough conditioners. And sometimes with straight dough methods, you just need to use more dough conditioners to get that tightening effect. Okay. Okay. The last part, dilution. Okay. Dilution of network means too much water. All right. Unfortunately, with straight dough methods, you have to cut back on the dough water absorption. Okay. Too much water weakens the dough structure, causes a lot of wear and tear during the extrusion process. Sometimes so much so that the dough conditioner ingredients cannot work to pull back the network. Okay, so 3 things you need to look at: dilution of network, machining, and high temperature. Okay, if you figure those things out, then you should be able to tighten up your crumb. What last thing I want to emphasize, less water equals to tighter crumb. Okay, good luck there. All right, next question is from Andre. Andre states that he has a sponge cake issue. All right, I have a small sponge cake company, and I've tried all the preservatives, potassium sorbate, sorbic acid, benzoate, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but the only thing that lasts is 7 days. It also tends to get hard as the days go by. Is it possible to reach more than 2 months duration while preserving the softness and taste? I'm thinking of using modified atmosphere, but I would like to use some preservatives and test some preservatives first before I do that. Okay, so yes, you are thinking along those lines. I actually talked a lot about this in episodes 26 and 27, okay? In episode 26 on my Ask Dr. Lin YouTube series, I talked about the 4 tips for preventing molding. And in episode 27, I talked about 6 tips for softening up your cupcake. Okay, cupcake, sponge cake, it's about the same solution. Okay, so look at those 2 YouTube videos, and I hope you can find your solution. Okay, 3rd question, flour processing for bread. Okay, so let's look at exactly what the question is asking. Can you help me with sharing what I can put as additives for making flour more suitable for bread preparation? So a lot of international meals ask me this question, and it's because the flour quality is not exactly consistent and reliable over there in some of the foreign mills. Take a look at our oxidizing agent topic page and our dough conditioning ingredient topic page. Those will be able to tell you some of the additives that you can actually add into the flour for bread production. Okay, most commonly will be ascorbic acid and ADA. That's to help maintain the flour quality for your end user. And if hopefully you have a farinograph to quantify the effect of these oxidizing agents that you put in the flour. You can find more information about these additives at their respective pages, which is ascorbic acid and azodicarbonamide. Okay, those are 2 very common, very common additives put in flour. Okay, the next question is by John. John has a cookie question. Okay, so cookie question. I'm reaching out for some help on a project. The cookie starts to show non-enzymatic browning after bake in our foil film in about 2 weeks at ambient temperature. We are looking for a suggestion on how to prevent this browning, and our microbial test has come back good. Well, good job. Good job for keeping microbial growth 0. And we're looking to accomplish a 9-month shelf life. So if your water activity is what you said it is at 0.7, you should be able to get a 9-month shelf life. And your sugars look right, the proteins look right. What you're experiencing is the oxidation, what we call oxidative browning. We learned a new term today, oxidative browning. Okay, so what is oxidative browning? Oxidative browning is the reactions of free radicals onto lipids, okay? And then causing some color changes within the cookie. Now, this is not good because it shows instability in your system, okay? Firstly, it has a lot to do with your packaging. You have to get non-reactive packaging. Ask your packaging supplier for something that's non-reactive. What I suspect is either your packaging has some kind of metal elements to it, okay, that your supplier might not be telling you or revealing it to you. Okay, so make sure it does not have iron, copper, or zinc, okay, because these three are really, really reactive to your cookie. It will brown it. Also, I want you to approach this two-prong, okay? Look at the packaging and make sure that it's food safe, all right? Next thing, look into chelating agents. Go to our page on chelating agents and you'll find a list of chelating agents, okay? Things like EDTA, polyphosphates, BHT, propyl, citric acid, tartaric acid. It's all there. Try those things, okay? What chelating agents do is they bind to the metal portion of the oxidative process, preventing the oxidative process from happening. So I rarely see this, but I do see this once in a while when people are not familiar with oxidative reactions. Okay, oxidative reactions can happen anywhere during the baking process and especially after the baking process. Okay, well, I hope that answers your question, John. If you have any more questions, just go to our consulting page and we should be able to help you out there as well. Okay, next question, sugars. Is there information on using liquid sugars versus dry sugars in baked goods, cookies, brownies, and etc.? Not really. And it's because the market has a vast array of liquid sweeteners. Okay, it depends on who you buy the liquid sweetener on and how much total solids they have in there. Okay, usually things like high fructose corn syrup, and you can look for that in our high fructose corn syrup page, our brown rice syrup page, our invert syrup page. Look at all those syrups, you know, study them. A lot of them have 18 to 20% moisture in them. So you're talking about 80 to 72% total solids, okay? So you take the total solid part and replace it with the sugar. That's what you do. You take the water, take it out from the water in the formulation or the egg moisture in your formulation. Okay, a lot of cookie formulations in the US does not have water. So take it from the egg moisture. Okay, so I hope that helps you. Next question. Let's see. Okay, we have a frozen pizza question. I would like to know more about frozen pizza dough. Which chemicals goes in that? I'm asking this from a business perspective. Thank you. Well, you're welcome. I don't like to use the word chemicals because everything is a chemical. You know, I'm just going to refer to it as additives or food ingredients. All right. If you take a look at my episode 20 on Ask Dr. Lin YouTube channel, you will get a frozen dough topic on there. Basically, the same kinds of dough conditioner ingredients, and look at dough conditioner ingredients on Bakerpedia, are the same ingredients you use in frozen dough. Okay, bread, dough, frozen fresh is the same kind of additives, food ingredient. With frozen dough, a lot of people do use ascorbic acid, and that's fine. It's a very simple usage, and it's pretty much a no-brainer. Okay, it also depends on whether you use it for food service or you use it for retail. Okay, for a retail product, you need something a little more of a dummy proof. Okay, so more dough improvers. For food service, you need to be really precise with your methodology at the food service end of thawing, proofing, and baking. Okay, but ascorbic acid is commonly used as a ingredient for frozen dough. Other ingredients includes enzyme solutions. So reach out to people like Corbion, Puratos, J&K Ingredients. You know, those companies would have experts letting you know what specific dough additive you have to add in your frozen dough. They have experts at any of these companies that I mentioned to help you with your frozen dough production. Okay, so plug for me. We have an artisan bread live stream this Thursday. Okay, it's from 10 to 12 Pacific time. I will be giving an entire 45 minutes worth of valuable information on the science of artisan bread making. Okay, you've learned the art, come learn the science. Okay, why is this important? Mainly because you need to know about water absorption, dough hydration, fermentation, mixing, baking, shelf life. Okay, those things are going to be covered. So go to bakerpedia.com/academy, and you got to sign up as a member. Once you sign up as a member, the live stream is going to be free. Okay, so I hope to see you guys this Thursday live streaming, and we at the end of all our live stream at noon, we are going to have a Q&A. Christoph will be baking all the way on the East Coast from Abel and Schaefer, and he's going to show us magnificent artisan breads. Okay, so he's the artist here. He's going to craft all these beautiful artisan breads for you, and I am going to be talking about the science. So between Christoph and myself, we should be able to answer your artisan production questions. All right, so I hope to see you on Thursday. And remember, if you can't make it, you can sign up for it, and then the recordings will be made available in 2 weeks for you to access. Okay, all right, have a great Tuesday, everyone, and don't forget, COVID-19, wash your hands and stay home if you're sick. Okay, have a good one. See you soon.